Hello, today is Thursday, May 28th. It is a little after 3 in the afternoon. I'm about to leave for my HIIT Pilates class, and I thought I'd take a moment just to talk about what I have been reading. So, I have for quite some time been reading Alchemised. It was a Secret Santa gift from a friend of mine. I have not always been the best at making time for reading. I always want to be better. Every time I go to the bookstore, I feel like I could live there. And in fact, if I could do anything, I would want to own a bookstore and just read all the time. Anyway, Alchemized, which I did not know until I was about a third of the way into it, is a book that is based on a Harry Potter fan fiction where Hermione and Draco become romantically entangled with each other. So, names, places, most of the details have been changed. And honestly, I didn't even realize that in reading it. I didn't even think to draw that parallel. But then, I found out, and it's like, oh, well, I guess he does have white blonde hair. And I guess she is extremely smart and from a foreign land that isn't really well thought of or accepted by where she came to go to school. So I guess all of those things are kind of parallels, but more than that, it has this very intense world building in it. There's almost a science behind magic. It's alchemy more than it is magic. It's the manipulation of different kinds of metals. In addition to that, manipulating feelings and healing in the body. So really enjoying it. I'm down to the last 90 pages and have been for quite some time because I've gotten to a point in the story where things seem relatively safe, but there's too much story yet to go for me to be really eager to move on. So those characters have just been living in stasis in my mind for some time now. Hoping to have it finished within the next week or so, but again, I would highly recommend it. It reminds me a lot of, not really in the way of the story itself, but of the Deadly Education series by Naomi Novik. I love that series. I read the books, and then my husband and I recently listened to the audiobooks together. I also like that story for very similar reasons, very intense world building and almost physics behind the way that magic works. And it made a lot of sense. And I don't always like all of the explainers, but in both of these situations, I did really enjoy it. This is a very long book. It is, like I said, I'm down to the last 90 pages of over 1,000 pages. Maybe needless to say, I'm heavy into the fantasy genre, into horror, and that's probably why I love books so much, and horror and anything that's made up. Not that I don't love my life, but sometimes it's fun to escape, and definitely would recommend this book. On the docket, this book, Abyss. I read the inside cover and it said, basically Severance meets Lovecraft, and Severance is the first word, and they had me at Severance. So that's that. And then this book, Wicked. Both of these were anniversary gifts from John after our trip to the book loft. Wicked was a pick. Both of these are from the staff pick wall. And the funny thing about the Abyss, the little note from the staff members have started putting notes under their picks on the wall, which hadn't been a thing I noticed until recently. But the one for the Abyss is, if you've ever felt victimized by corporate America, this book is for you. And I definitely do feel that way in my life. And then Julie is the Saturday manager, longtime manager at the book loft. During COVID times, you had to make an appointment to go in there. So if you're not familiar with the space, it's 32 rooms. And some of them are kind of windy and narrow. So it was appointment only. And John and I made it a point to go and visit and look at books and buy books a few times during COVID. They also had goodie boxes that they put together that they would mail you as well. We still try to make it there as often as we can. And we ended up getting married there, and it was through correspondence with Julie, who remembered us from COVID times, and she opened up the gates early for us one Saturday. We were there for 15 minutes to do our wedding ceremony, and she still remembers us. She says that we're one of 2 couples that she ever let do that. So that was just over 4 years ago now. And I'm gonna keep this short. That's about it for now. Still thinking of fun things to incorporate into these videos. And tomorrow, I'm very excited to say, will be my drum update. So about a week into the Learning How to Drum project. I have seen improvement, and I guess I'll just wait till tomorrow to show that to you. But anyway, happy Thursday, happy reading. We're almost to the weekend, and more exciting things to come. Promise.